Number 10. Checking likes and comments constantly. You ever wonder why your thumb moves on its own? Why you unlock your phone without thinking? Tap the same app and stare at the same numbers again? It's almost scary how automatic it becomes. One moment you're just sitting there, the next you're refreshing your notifications like the world's smallest slot machine. Because that one new like, that one comment, it feels like someone whispered, "Hey, you matter." And a part of you gets addicted to hearing it. But here's the twist. Every time you check, you're not just looking at numbers, you're asking a question. Am I still relevant? Do people still care? Am I still seen? And when the answer isn't loud enough, your mood drops like a stone. Suddenly, a quiet post feels like a personal insult. You start questioning your looks, your words, your choices. You start measuring your day by the speed of digital applause. And the worst part? You begin chasing moments instead of living them. A sunset isn't beautiful until someone online likes it. A joke isn't funny until someone comments. Your joy waits for permission to exist. Every refresh becomes a tiny negotiation with your self-worth. But truth hides behind that obsession. You're not addicted to the app. You're addicted to the feeling of being accepted. And the more you chase it, the more invisible you feel without it. Because deep down, you're not checking your notifications. You're checking your identity. Number 9. Dressing mainly for approval, not comfort. Ever notice how you don't actually dress for yourself? You dress for the invisible audience in your head, the one that's always watching, always judging. You stand in front of the mirror not asking, "Do I feel good in this?" But instead, "Will they think I look good?" And just like that, your outfit becomes a performance, not an expression. You sacrifice comfort for validation. Shoes that hurt, outfits that suffocate, styles that don't even feel like you. But you wear them anyway, because somewhere deep inside, you believe approval is worth the discomfort. You believe other people's compliments are more important than your own ease. And slowly, you forget what your real taste even looks like. What's wild is how subtle this addiction becomes. You start planning outfits based on who you might meet. You stress over what strangers might think. You feel embarrassed if you're underdressed, even when you're just running errands. You feel exposed if someone looks at you without smiling, as if their expression determines your value for the day. And the moment someone praises your outfit, your entire body relaxes like you've been holding your breath for hours. But when no one notices, you spend the whole day wondering what you did wrong, as if your clothes failed a test you didn't even want to take. Because the truth is painful. You're not wearing clothes. You're wearing expectations. And you've mistaken applause for identity, forgetting that real confidence starts with comfort, not approval. The more you dress for others, the more you disappear beneath the version of you they want to see. Number 8. Asking others for advice on every decision. There's a strange kind of fear that creeps in when you try to make a decision alone. Not a big decision. Sometimes it's something as small as choosing a meal, posting a picture, or picking a movie. You pause, you hesitate, and then you reach for the comfort of someone else's opinion. It feels safer that way, doesn't it? Like if someone else approves it, you can't go wrong. But deep down, it's not guidance you're seeking, it's permission. When you constantly ask others what to do, you stop trusting your own instincts. You become a collector of external voices, hoping one of them will sound like certainty. And the more you rely on these voices, the quieter your own becomes. You start believing your judgment is flawed, that your choices are risky, that someone else knows better, even when it's your life, your experience, your path. What makes this addiction so dangerous is how easily it disguises itself as humility. It looks like you're being thoughtful, considerate, careful, but beneath that, there's a deeper truth. You're terrified of being wrong, terrified of being judged, terrified of bearing the weight of your own choices. So you outsource responsibility, hoping someone else will guarantee the outcome. And each time you do, you lose a little piece of your independence, a little piece of your voice, a little piece of your confidence. Soon you can't even tell what you truly want because your desires have been softened, reshaped, and overwritten by the people around you. But here's the part no one tells you. If you don't trust your own decisions, you never discover who you are. You only become a reflection of whoever answered your last question. Number 7. Feeling upset when left on scene. There's something painfully quiet about being left on scene. No harsh words, no argument, no explanation, just silence. And somehow, that silence hurts more than an actual rejection. Your mind starts racing, filling in the blanks with every worst-case scenario. Did I say something wrong? Are they annoyed? Did I imagine the connection? Why am I not worth a reply? It's ridiculous how fast one tiny notification can shatter your peace. But here's the hidden truth. It's not the message you're waiting for. It's the reassurance, the confirmation that you matter enough for someone to pause their day and respond. When that response doesn't come, a part of you feels abandoned, exposed, almost embarrassed for caring this much. You start replaying the conversation, analyzing emojis, rewriting your own messages in your mind, as if you could retroactively earn their attention. This emotional spiral comes from a deeper wound. You've tied your value to how quickly people respond to you. A delayed reply feels like a delayed approval, and that hurts because you've built a habit of depending on external voices to validate your presence. One unread message becomes a mirror, reflecting every insecurity you've tried to hide. But what makes this trap so cruel is how invisible it is. You convince yourself you're just overthinking, yet the anxiety sits heavy in your chest, waiting for a ping that may never come. You keep checking, refreshing, hoping, because you believe a reply will restore something inside you that suddenly feels broken. But silence does not define you. Someone's delay does not shrink your worth. Being left unseen doesn't mean you're insignificant. It just means you've forgotten how significant you already are. Number 6. Craving praise after small achievements. It's strange how even the smallest win in your day doesn't feel real until someone else claps for it. You finish a task, organize your space, cook a decent meal, or handle a challenge, and instead of enjoying the quiet pride of accomplishment, your mind immediately reaches outward. Who can I tell? Who will be impressed? Who will say, wow, so I can feel like it actually counted? That instinct says more about your heart than your habit. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that success means nothing unless someone else admires it. You stopped celebrating yourself and started waiting for applause. Even small achievements feel incomplete, like half-finished stories until someone else reacts. And when no praise comes, the achievement suddenly feels smaller, duller, almost pointless, as if your effort shrinks in silence. But here's what makes this dangerous. Your brain becomes trained to expect praise as the reward, not growth, not effort, not self-satisfaction. You begin performing instead of progressing. You work for reactions instead of results. And slowly, your relationship with your own accomplishments becomes fragile. A simple compliment can lift your whole day. The absence of one can ruin it. This craving also exposes a truth you rarely say out loud. You feel unseen. You feel unheard. You feel like you need proof that you're doing okay. But imagine how powerful you'd become if you learned to applaud yourself first. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, proudly, with the understanding that your effort holds value, even if no one else witnesses it. Because real confidence isn't built when people praise you. It's built when you no longer need them to. Number 5. Sharing accomplishments immediately online. It's wild how fast your hand moves the second something good happens. You don't even fully feel the moment before you're already framing it, filtering it, packaging it for the timeline. It's like your brain whispers, if it's not posted, did it even happen? And without thinking, your joy becomes a product, edited, cropped, and uploaded for public approval. But here's the tricky part. Posting isn't really the problem. It's the urgency, that itch to share the moment before you've actually lived it. Achievements aren't allowed to breathe inside you. They must be broadcasted instantly, as if the world needs to stamp its approval before you can claim the experience as your own. You become the messenger of your own life rather than the participant. And the moment you hit post, a new tension begins. You don't celebrate, you monitor. You wait for likes like they're oxygen. You check comments like they're confirmation. You scroll back to your own post again and again, not because you love the moment, but because you're terrified it won't perform. The accomplishment slowly stops being about what you did and becomes about how people reacted to it. The saddest part? When you rush to share, you miss the depth of the moment itself. The pride, the warmth, the personal meaning, those things fade because you traded them for public attention. And without realizing it, you start doing things for the post, not for the experience. Your achievements become content instead of memories. But here's the truth your heart already knows. Moments gain value when they change you, not when they impress others. If you don't let yourself feel your victories privately, you'll never know what they were meant to teach you. Number 4. Fishing for compliments indirectly. There's a certain art to fishing for compliments. You never ask directly. You drop hints, soften your voice, exaggerate a flaw, or pretend you're unsure about something you already know looks good. You wait for the reassurance to come flowing in, pretending you didn't expect it, even though that was the entire purpose. It feels harmless, almost playful, but underneath, there's a deeper hunger you're trying to hide. Because when you ask indirectly, what you're really saying is, please tell me I'm worth something, but don't make me admit I need to hear it. It's a quiet battle between pride and insecurity. You don't want to seem needy, yet your heart desperately waits for someone to fill the silence with validation. And when they finally say, no, you look great, or you did amazing, a wave of relief hits you, proof that your fears were wrong, that you haven't slipped into invisibility yet. But the cycle doesn't stop. Compliments lose their power quickly, almost instantly, and your mind begins searching for the next opportunity, the next hint, the next conversation where someone might reassure you again. It's like trying to fill an inner void with drops of water, momentarily refreshing but never enough to quench the thirst. And the most painful part? Indirect compliment seeking comes from feeling unworthy of being openly affirmed. You feel like asking directly would expose you, like your need for reassurance is something to be ashamed of. So you cloak it in sarcasm or self-deprecation and hope someone catches it. But validation that you have to trick people into giving never truly satisfies, because it doesn't feel earned. It feels borrowed. And worse, it teaches you that your worth only exists when others point it out. Number 3. Comparing yourself endlessly to peers. It always starts quietly. You open your feed, see someone your age buying a house, traveling the world, getting fit, getting married, launching a business, winning awards, living the version of life you thought you'd have by now. And suddenly, your chest tightens, your achievements feel smaller, your progress feels slow. Your life starts shrinking under the weight of someone else's highlight reel. Comparison is a thief that doesn't break in with noise. It slips into your mind gently, almost politely. It whispers, "Look at them. Look at you. Why aren't you there yet?" And the more you listen, the more you begin to believe that your worth is measured by someone else's timeline. Every success becomes a reminder of what you haven't done. Every milestone feels like a countdown you're running behind on. You start keeping silent scorecards. Who's ahead? Who's behind? Who won this year? And the saddest part? You don't even realize you're competing in a race that isn't yours. You're chasing goals that were never meant to define you, molding yourself into shapes that don't fit your story. Because comparison doesn't show you the truth, it shows you a distorted mirror where you're always the one falling short. But here's the irony. The people you envy are probably comparing themselves to someone else too. Everyone's running. Everyone's exhausted. Everyone's scared of being less than. But no one says it out loud. We all walk around pretending to be confident while secretly checking whether our lives look good enough next to someone else's. Endless comparison doesn't push you forward. It traps you. It blinds you to your own journey, your own pace, your own strengths. And someday you'll realize you weren't losing. You were just looking in the wrong direction. Number 2. Needing reassurance after every choice. There's a quiet tension that settles into your chest every time you make a decision. Even after choosing something simple, what to wear, what to buy, what to say, you feel that familiar pull to ask someone, "Is this okay? Did I choose right?" It's like you don't trust your own voice until someone else echoes it back to you. And the moment they say yes, your mind finally unclenches, as if you've been holding a breath without realizing it. But the need for reassurance goes deeper than indecision. It comes from a fear of regret, a fear of judgment, a fear of being the one responsible if things go wrong. You want someone else to approve the choice so you can blame no one, not even yourself, if it doesn't work out. It's self-protection disguised as uncertainty. What makes this pattern so draining is how quickly reassurance fades. You might feel calm for a moment, maybe even confident, but soon the doubt returns, whispering that maybe you asked the wrong person, or maybe they were just being polite, or maybe you misheard the tone, so you ask again, and again, and again. Not because you're weak, but because you don't feel safe standing on your own judgment. And slowly, your identity dissolves into other people's voices. Their approval becomes your compass. Their opinions become your instructions. You stop learning who you are because you're too busy making sure you never make a mistake. But every choice you let someone else validate steals a little piece of your confidence. Reassurance feels comforting. Yes, but only until you realize you've built a life where your decisions aren't truly yours. Because at the end of the day, the voice you're most afraid of trusting is your own. Number 1. Feeling empty without constant feedback. There's a strange hollowness that creeps in when the world goes quiet. No notifications, no messages, no reactions, just silence. And instead of peace, you feel something closer to loneliness, like the world has turned its back on you without warning. You keep checking your phone, refreshing apps, searching for proof that someone, somewhere is thinking about you. Because without that feedback, your day feels blurry, unfocused, almost meaningless. This emptiness isn't about boredom. It's about identity. You've become so used to other people reflecting your worth back to you that when the reflections stop, you feel like you disappear. You start doubting your value in real time. Am I still interesting? Do people still care? Did I do something wrong? And that silent gap between thoughts becomes a void your mind rushes to fill with insecurity. Constant feedback becomes a kind of emotional oxygen. When people praise you, notice you, react to you, you feel alive, grounded, validated. But when they don't, your inner world collapses into questions you don't know how to answer. You feel restless, uneasy, as if something important is missing. And maybe it is, not attention, but self-recognition. You've forgotten how to feel complete without someone else confirming your existence. The tragedy is subtle. The more you depend on constant feedback, the less you listen to your own inner signals. Joy doesn't feel real unless someone reacts to it. Achievements feel unfinished unless someone comments on them. Even your personality shifts toward whatever earns the most approval. Slowly, the emptiness starts to own you, shaping your habits, your choices, your sense of self. But here's the truth you've avoided facing. The silence isn't proof that you're not valued. It's proof that you've forgotten how to value yourself. And until you learn to fill your own inner space, no amount of external noise will ever feel like enough.